कुंज विहारी जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभो नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्णा हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। जय कृष्ण बलराम जय कृष्ण बलराम बलराम जय वृंदावन धाम। जय राधे श्याम राधे श्याम राधे श्याम जय राधे श्याम। निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल। जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद। जय जय गुरुदेव 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 जय जय गुरुदेव। परमहंस परिव्राजक आचार्य अष्टोत्तर शत श्री श्रीमद अभय चरण अरविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी प्रभुपाद की। नित्य लीला प्रविष्ट श्रील भक्त सिद्धांत सरस्वती ठाकुर की। श्रील गौर किशोर दास गोस्वामी महाराज की। श्रील जगन्नाथ दास बाबाजी महाराज की। समागत वैष्णव मंडली की। श्रीमद् भागवत महापुराण की। निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे। ऑल ग्लोरीज ऑल ग्लोरीज। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ओम नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। नष्टप्रायेषु अभद्रेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवतीरुत्तमश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्ठिकी। पादौ यदीयौ प्रथमो द्वितीयौ तृतीयतुर्यौ कथितौ यदूरु नाभिस्तथा पंचम एव षष्ठो भुजान्तरं दौर्युगलं तथान्यो कंठस्तु राजन्नवमो यदीयो मुखारविन्दं दशमः प्रफुल्यम् एकादशो यस्य ललाटपट्टं शिरोऽपितु द्वादश एव भाति तमादिदेवं करुणानिधानं तमालवर्णं सुहितावतारम् अपार संसार समुद्रसेतुं भजामहे भागवतः स्वरूपम्। कृष्ण त्वदीय पाद पंकज पंजरान्ते अद्यैव मे विशतु मानसराज हंस प्राणप्रयाण समये कफवात पित्तौ कंठा अवरोधन विधौ स्मरणं कुतस्ते। हरे कृष्ण। 10th canto, chapter 59, shloka from 4th to 24, right. 26. gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyuṁ mura-pāśās tathāsinā. We'll read two slokas, the beginning and the last. Gadayā nirbibhedādrīn gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyuṁ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyum mura-pāśāṁs tathāsinā gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyum mura-pāśāṁs tathāsinā. Yeah, you can read it. Gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyum mura-pāśāṁs tathāsinā. Gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyum mura-pāśāṁs tathāsinā. Matajis. Gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ Gadayā, with his club, nirbibheda, he broke through adrīn, the hills, śastra-durgāṇi, the weapon obstacles, sāyakaiḥ, with his arrows, cakreṇa, with his disc, agnim, the fire, jalam, water, vāyuṁ, and wind, mura-pāśān, the cable obstacles, tathā, similarly, asinā, with his sword. With his club, the Lord broke through the rock fortifications, with his arrows, the weapon fortifications, with his disc, the fire, water and wind fortifications, and with his sword, the mura-pāśa cables. So actually they're talking about this Narakasura, Pragjyotishpuram. So Lord Vishnu, along with Satyabhama, mounted Garuda and went to Pragjyotishpura. And there is the description of the fight. First, the Lord will fight with Mura demon, and then Bhaumasura will come. So it's actually describing how they're breaking through the fortifications made by Bhaumasura and then entering into Bhaumasura's area and then killing them. It's all description about that. Shankhanādena yantrāni hridayāni manasvinām prākāram gadayā gurvya nirbibheda gadādharaha. With the sound of his conch shell, Lord Gadadhara then shattered the magic seals of the fortress, along with the hearts of its brave defenders, and with his heavy club he demolished the surrounding earthen ramparts. Panchajanya dhanim shrutva yuganta shani bhishanam murashayana uttasthau datyah panchashira jalat. The five-headed demon Mura, who slept at the bottom of the city's moat, awoke and rose up of the water when he heard the vibration of Lord Krishna's Panchajanya conch shell, a sound as terrifying as the thunder at the end of the cosmic age. Trishulamudyamya sudirnirikshano yuganta surya nalarochil rulvanaha grasam strilokimiva panchabhirmukhair abhyadravattarksha sutam yathoragaha. Shining with the blinding, terrible effulgence of the sun's fire at the end of a millennium, Mura seemed to be swallowing up the three worlds with his 5 mouths. He lifted up his trident and fell upon Garuda, the son of Tarksha, like an attacking snake. Avidya shulam tarasagarutmate nirasya vaktreir vyanadatsa panchabhi sarodasi sarvadisho ambaram mahan apurayan andakataham avrinot. Mura whirled his trident and then hurled it fiercely at Garuda. Roaring from all 5 mouths, the sound filled the earth and sky, all directions and the limits of outer space, until it reverberated against the very shell of the universe. Then, with 2 arrows, Lord Hari struck the trident, flying toward Garuda, and broke it into 3 pieces. Next, the Lord hit Mura's faces with several arrows, and the demon angrily hurled his club at the Lord. Mura has 5 heads. As Mura's club sped toward him on the battlefield, Lord Gadagraja intercepted it with his own and broke it into thousands of pieces. Mura then raised his arms high and rushed at the unconquerable Lord, who easily sliced off his heads with his disc weapon. Lifeless, Mura's decapitated body fell into the water like a mountain whose peak has been severed by the power of Lord Indra's thunderbolt. The demon's 7 sons, enraged by their father's death, prepared to retaliate. Ordered by Bhaumasura, Mura's 7 sons, Tamra, Antariksha, Sravana, Vibhavasu, Vasu, Nabhaswan, and Aruna, followed their general Pita unto the battlefield bearing their weapons. These fierce warriors furiously attacked invincible Lord Krishna with arrows, swords, clubs, spears, lances, and tridents. But the Supreme Lord, with unfailing prowess, cut the mountain of weapons into tiny pieces with his arrows. The Lord severed the heads, thighs, arms, legs, and armor of these opponents led by Pita and sent them all to the abode of Yamaraja. Narakasura, the son of the earth, could not contain his fury when he saw the fate of his military leaders. Thus he went out of the citadel with elephants born from the milk ocean, who were exuding madha from their foreheads out of excitement. Lord Krishna and his wife, mounted upon Garuda, looked like a cloud with lightning setting above the sun. Seeing the Lord, Bhauma released his Shatagni weapon at him, whereupon all of Bhauma's soldiers simultaneously attacked with their weapons. At that moment, Lord Gadagraja shot his sharp arrows at Bhaumasura's army. These arrows, displaying variegated feathers, soon reduced the army to a mass of bodies with severed arms, thighs, and necks. The Lord similarly killed the opposing horses and elephants. Lord Hari then struck down all the missiles and weapons the enemy soldiers threw at him. O hero of the Kurus, destroying each and every one with 3 sharp arrows. Meanwhile, Garuda, as he carried the Lord, struck the enemy's elephants with his wings. Beaten by Garuda's wings, beak and talons, the elephants fled back into the city, leaving Narakasura alone on the battlefield to oppose Krishna. Seeing his army driven back and tormented by Garuda, Bhauma attacked him with his spear, which had once defeated Lord Indra's thunderbolt. But though struck by that mighty weapon, Garuda was not shaken. Indeed, he was like an elephant hit with a flower garland. Bhauma, frustrated in all his attempts, took up his trident to kill Lord Krishna. But even before he could release it, the Lord cut off his head with his razor-sharp chakra as the demon sat atop the elephant. Fallen on the ground, Bhaumasura's head shone brilliantly, decorated as it was with earrings and an attractive helmet. As cries of "Alas, alas," and "Well done" arose, the sage and principal demigods worshipped Lord Mukunda by showering him with flower garlands. Okay. Bhauma, frustrated in all his attempts, took up his trident to kill Lord Krishna. Okay, purport. According to Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti, as Bhauma raised his invincible trident, Satyabhama, sitting on Garuda with the Lord, said to Krishna, "Kill him right away." And Krishna did just that. 23rd. The goddess of earth then approached Lord Krishna and presented him with Aditi's earrings, which were made of glowing gold inlaid with shining jewels. So she also gave him a Vaijayanti flower garland, Varuna's umbrella, and the peak of Mandara mountain. O king, after bowing down to him and then standing with joined palms, the goddess, her mind filled with devotion, began to praise the Lord of the universe, whom the best of demigods worship. Goddess Bhumi said, "Obeisances unto you, O Lord of the chief demigods, O holder of the conch shell, disc and club, O supreme soul within the heart. You assume your various forms to fulfill your devotees' desires. Obeisances unto you." 26. My respectful obeisances are unto you, O Lord, whose abdomen is marked with a depression like a lotus flower, who are always decorated with garlands of lotus flowers, whose glans is as cool as the lotus, and whose feet are engraved with lotuses. Namah Pankajanaabhaya. You can say, Namah Pankajanaabhaya. Namah Pankajamaline. Namah Pankajanetraya. Namaste Pankajangraye. So this chapter 59 is basically dealing with the killing of Bhaumasura. Yeah. Yeah, I can read the purport, yeah. You mean the introduction, Prabhuji?
26.
Oh, 26. Okay. Queen Kunti offered the same prayer which is found in first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam, chapter 8, text 22. The synonyms and translation given here are taken from Srila Prabhupada's rendering of the text. We may also note that although Kunti's prayer occurs early in the Bhagavatam, she offered it many years after the incident described here. So, this is actually dealing with killing of Bhaumasura. Pragjyotishpuram is his abode where he stays, and Lord went to it along with Satyabhama riding on Garuda. This fight basically describes how he entered this Pragjyotishpuram. It is very well protected Durga fort, and there are 4 layers. Giri Durgair, śastra-durgāṇi, jalagnir anila durgamam. So first there are hills all around. Krishna just shattered them, broke them all, and then there are weapons, automated weapons. Now we see this called anti-ballistic missiles. When somebody throws a missile to your country, it naturally goes and destroys. And some countries has this, it's called Iron Dome. India also made it. So this is already mentioned there in the scriptures in Bhagavatam. Imagine how advanced was the civilization then. So, Narakasura, who is the son of Varaha and Bhudevi. When Varaha Dev was tossing aside Bhudevi, then she gave birth to this child. And this child was very much dedicated, a staunch worshipper of Lord Shiva. And he did a lot of sadhana, tapasya. And he became very strong, very much powerful. So then sometimes when you have too much valor, or too much strength, too much pitta in the body, then you want to do something. So he used to go and break the mountains. He used to fight with them because there was nobody equivalent to him who can fight with him. So he asked Lord Shiva, "Oh Shiva, you have given me so much power and strength. Now I am unconquerable. So give me a proper opponent with whom I can fight." Hearing this, Lord Shiva understood that this is not Deva, this is Asura. This kind of tendencies the Asuras have. The kings also, Kshatriyas also, when they have, the Kshatriyas has to go on the battlefield. Whenever there is any emergency, they have to run to fight. So the Kshatriyas cannot sit idle like Vaishyas or Brahmanas. They had to be strong. The blood should be boiling all the time. That's why there was a tradition of going to mrigaya, going for hunting. So that keeps them up. Whenever there is an emergency, they are ready for fighting. But here, Asura, he is looking for some opponent to defeat him and prove his prowess. On the other side, there are Navarasas, 9 mellows. And there is one rasa called Veera rasa. And Lord appeared in this material world to enjoy all these 9 rasas. Shanta, Sakhya, Shringar, Hasya, Karun, Bhivatsa, Veer. These are the rasas. So Veera rasa is also one of the part, valor it's called. So Krishna does this kind of pastimes to enjoy his valor, Veera rasa. So he makes someone instrument. Here what happens, so there are 4 layers. First the mountains, and then there are automated weapons, then there is water and fire. All these 4 layers you have to break through. And here it says mura-pāśa. Pāśa means a kind of cable. Now you see you put cables, fencing for the monkeys. So this kind of cables are also around that Durga Pragjyotishpura. And what was Narakasura's fault? he became so strong, and then he took the earrings of Aditi, the mother of Indra. He took the umbrella of Varuna Deva, from where the water is gushing out. Then he took the Mandar Parvat, the mountain where all the demigods is their playground, holiday homes. So they used to go and play there, do their pastimes. And Bhaumasura took away everything and kept in his Pragjyotishpuram. So only Lord can defeat him and take back all these things. So he, one by one, he broke away everything and entered into this arena. Gadayā nirbibhedādrīn śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyuṁ mura-pāśāṁs tathāsinā. With gadayā, with the club, he broke the mountains. Śastra-durgāṇi sāyakaiḥ, with his arrows, he broke those automated weapons. Cakreṇāgniṁ jalam vāyum, the air and water, he finished with his disc, chakra. Mura-pāśās tathāsinā. Asi means talwar, the sword. With his sword, he cut off all the cables created by Mura demon. Mura demon has been mentioned in some slokas. In Gita Mahatmya, there is a sloka. It says, Bhagavad Gita kinchidadhita, Ganga jalalava kanika pita, sakradapi yena murari samarcha, kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. Whosoever studies Bhagavad Gita, just a very little, even one charan, yada yada hi dharmasya, that's it. So Bhagavad Gita kinchidadhita, Ganga jala lava kanika pita, whosoever drank just a drop of Ganga water in his entire life. Sakradapi yena murari samarcha, whosoever has worshipped Murari, here the name Murari comes, once in his life. Kriyate tasya yamena na charcha. Yamraj never discusses about him. So he never goes to the Yamaloka. Here also in the translation you will see, when Mura demon was killed, it says, I was reading it, and then you see here, Prabhupada is not saying that after killing him he went back somewhere. He said that he went back to the abode of death. This is what written here. So then Muradatya was also demon, was sleeping in that water. When he threw his disc and shattered all the fortifications, Mura demon came out of that water. Mura demon has 5 heads. Here in the Tikas, if you read, there it mentions that these 5 heads represents the Pancha Tanmatra, Urupa Rasa Varna Gandha Sparsha. So the subjects of the senses. So this Bhumi, Dharitri, is yielding all food. It's providing us place for residence, agriculture, industry, everything Bhudevi is providing. But still, the kings, when they come, kings and the demons and the devatas, whenever they are in power, they think that I am ruling this earth. This Avani Dharitri is under my control. I defeated that king, so up to this is my regime. So, Mura demon actually represents our 5 senses. And Bhogya Vastu is this earth. So he is thinking that this earth is mine, it belongs to me, and whatever is here is all my Bhogya Vastu, are the objects of my senses. This is what Bhaumasura is an example. In Sahitya, Sanskrit Sahitya, this is called alankara. So you talk about somebody's face and say that, oh, her face is as beautiful as the moonlight. So this kind of alankara is used here. Mura-daitya is a personified form of our senses. So then he finishes this mura-daitya, and there is a lot of fight in between. Garuda is doing. Tarksha Shuta, this name came. The son of Tarksha. So Garuda also fought the battle. When Bhaumasura came out with thousands of elephants, he has thousands of hands also. He came out and the elephants were raised, are born in the seashores. This is also written here. So they are very strong. And I went to South India and I noticed there are some, like you see Goshalas, there are Hastishalas where they keep elephants. And amazingly, the trainer, who is a trainer from his succession, from his many generations, they are very well versed. So he was saying that this elephant, I saw there are some elephants breed which are shorter and some are very tall. Their body language is different. He says this elephant is a Brahmana and that is a Kshatriya elephant. I said, how come even this elephant has also Brahmana Kshatriya? He said, yes. He said, when the temples used to be built in ancient times, these Kshatriya elephants who used to carry all those heavy logs and stone chunks. So to prove it, what he did, he bought some cakes. And that cake has eggs. You know, normal cakes has eggs. So it gave it in front of the Brahmana elephant. It smelled and he did not eat it. And then he gave it to the Kshatriya elephant and he ate it. So the elephants were very powerful, and Garuda with his wing and sharp nails, he was scratching. So all the elephants ran away from there. And Mura demon was the only one who was standing there. And then Krishna finally chopped off his head also, and thus this Narakasura, Bhaumasura, passed away. Mother Earth, or Dharitri Devi, brought back all those jewels, the earrings of Aditi, the umbrella of Varuna, Mandar Markat, that mountain, and gave back to Lord Vishnu and prayed to him. And also, after killing this Mura demon, there was nobody alive. Only he has one son, Bhagadatta. So Dharitri Devi brought Bhagadatta to Lord Vishnu and said that, see, he is the only descendant in his family. So please bestow your mercy. That means you never kill him. So Krishna bestowed his mercy and said that, okay, show me your palace. So Bhagadatta took him inside the palace, and there Bhaumasura captivated 16,100 princes of some big kings. He fought, won, and brought them and captivated them. And this princess, in those times when the princess, they go to a jail, they are imprisoned also by a demon like Bhaumasura, who will marry them? Once they are freed, nobody will marry them. So as soon, just at the sight, they understood this is the Lord Krishna, and they fell in love. And they were very eagerly, desperately hankering for Krishna. You see, in the beginning, Mahatmya of Srimad Bhagavatam, where Bhakti Devi is sitting with Jnana and Vairagya. They are old, the two children are old, and she is young, Yuvati, and sitting on the bank of Ganga, Haridwar. And then Narada Rishi was passing by. And by seeing that, she was very much depressed and worried. And she said, Bhovo sadho kshanam tishta machintam api nashaya. Or this saint must have some effulgent saint, he must have some power. So please come and relieve me. Then Narada was curious, who is this? Imagine a mother sitting and she is young and two children are old. So Narada Rishi asked, and then she replied that I am Bhakti Devi. Then Narada Rishi said, Tvaya hutastu Bhagavan yati nicha griheswapi. How come you are in this condition if somebody summons you, summons the Lord, entranced in bhakti? The Lord goes to the houses of Swapacha Chandala, even the most sinner of all sins. If somebody invites someone that come to my house and I stay in that slum area, inside that and that and that, nobody will go. But here Narada Rishi is saying that anybody calls the Lord with reverence, with bhakti, you go even to the houses of the most fallen wretch. Tvaya hutastu Bhagavan yati nicha griheswapi. So here, these captivated ladies, they were thinking about the Lord with deep reverence. So how Lord can neglect them? He freed them, sent them back to Mathura, Dwarika, and lots of treasures also, and said that I will marry you. Then he married all those 16,100 princes in different temples at a time. And then he stayed with all of them. And Narada had a doubt that Lord is saying he married so many thousands of wives and now he's with everybody. How is that possible? So he went and he saw with this wife he is sitting and talking like normal, and in the other house also he is present there. So he is omnipresent, omnipotent. Then he returned back, Prithvi Devi, Dharitri Devi returned back all these things which were stolen by Bhaumasura. On the way back, Vishnu took Satyabhama and Krishna went to the Swarga Loka, and he returned back all those things which were taken away by Bhaumasura. And there, Satyabhama saw this Parijata tree and she insisted that I need this tree. Once Narada Rishi came to see Dwarika and he bought one Parijata flower from the heaven and gave it to Rukmini, and it was smelling very beautiful. So since then Satyabhama was insisting that I also need that flower. And so here, as soon she saw, oh, this is Parijata tree, I need it, and Krishna wanted to uproot it. Then Indra was not happy about that. So the same Indra, along with his wife Sachi, who worshipped, when he got back the treasures which were stolen by Bhaumasura. Bhaumasura was so powerful, he could have taken away, the entire Swarga Loka. Then Indra is nowhere. He will lose all his position. So God saved him from that emergency situation, but just for a Parijata tree, Indra revoked. He did not like it. Then he fought with Krishna, and Krishna defeated easily, and then he came back with all those wealth, and he went to Swarga Loka, and then he came back with all those wealth. So Dharitri Devi is doing prayers here. This Namah Pankaja Nabhaya, this is Dharitri Devi, Bhudevi is doing prayers. Namaste Deva Devesha Sankha Chakra Gadadhara Bhakte Cho Patta Rupaya Paramatma Namostute. Then Namah Pankaja Nabhaya, Namah Pankaja Maline, Namah Pankaja Netraya, Namasta Pankajangraye. This Dharitri Devi is doing these prayers. You see, Dharitri Devi In Chaitanya Charitamrita also, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami mentioned about Avani Devi. Adi Antya Leela, Mahaprabhu was in Gambhira, and he was thinking that we need some new generation preacher who will preach this love of Godhead into the entire world. So this was his Sankalpa Matrena Siddhi. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu or any Bhagavat, any Param Bhagavat, as soon they make any Sankalpa, oh, there should be a temple here. Prabhupada, in Juhu, there should be a temple here. And it manifested. Whatever difficulties come, it goes away. Because as soon an exalted personality desires, Lord comes over there and to fulfill his desire. Aham bhakta paradhino. So, he was in Gambhira. He was engrossed in his pastimes. Jagannatha came in his dream. And Jagannatha came in his dream and said, Gaur Hari, there is a couple who came few days before to Jagannath temple and prayed for a son. And they are very exalted, pure devotees, so you bestow your mercy upon them. This Jagannath said to Mahaprabhu. Katwa, Srikhanda, where Chaitanya Mahaprabhu took sannyas. There is a place called Jajigram near that. There, Gangadhar Bhattacharya, there was a devotee, Gangadhar Bhattacharya, he attended that program of sannyas diksha of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. He saw that such a tall, effulgent, beautiful, magnanimous personality like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with shaved head and putting on saffron robes and taking sannyas. He could not tolerate it. So this Gangadhar Bhattacharya kept on crying always. Anywhere you see, Ha Krishna, Ha Chaitanya, Ha Krishna, Ha Chaitanya. That incident he could not forget. So everybody nicknamed him as Chaitanya Das. So always he was saying Ha Chaitanya, Ha Chaitanya. And his his wife was Lakshmi Priya Devi. Lakshmi Priya, yes. So they went to this Jagannath temple and prayed for a child. Mahaprabhu woke up and then he started thinking early morning, looking at the ground, and then he ordered Avani Devi, Dharitri Devi, Earth, you go and bring me the whereabouts of that couple who came and prayed in the Jagannath temple for a son. So Avani Devi went all around. See, this is a pastime. Mahaprabhu, who is all knowledgeable, where Jagannath is giving instructions directly, he can get the whereabouts. But the Lord gives chances to all his associates. So Avani Devi came back after 3 days and said, the child is going to take birth in Jajigram near Srikhanda, near Katwa, where Mahaprabhu took sannyas. Mahaprabhu said, you go and bless that lady. So Bhakti Devi came in a dream when she was sleeping and said that in your womb there is a very exalted personality coming and you will give birth to him and he will preach this Krishna consciousness. He will preach this love of Godhead into the entire world. He will be a very exalted personality. In that village, there was a Brahmana called Durgadas, and he was the worshipper of Shiva and Durga. So he did not like all these people started chanting Mahamantra and others, where there was a parampara of Durga Puja and all this Shiva Puja. So he called a drummer and he said that you disturb them with the drum. Whenever they want to chant or do Hari Kirtan, you disturb them. So the drummer came, and when he was beating, instead of coming that sound of Shiva Durga, it was Hare Krishna, this sound was coming, vibrating. So before he took birth, he started preaching, and he was Srinivas Acharya. So the Srinivas Acharya, Dharitri Devi came and informed this mother Lakshmi Priya that in your womb, the son which is going to come will be named as Srinivas Acharya. And he will be a very exalted devotee, and he will go to Vrindavan, bring back all those books written by the Sadgoswamis. So there are lots of pastimes afterwards. So this is Dharitri Devi pastimes I mentioned from Chaitanya Charitamrita, Chaitanya Lila also. Here, one thing, the question comes in our mind that there are many pastimes described in Srimad Bhagavatam. Think about Shariati. Shariati, the king, in Vaivasvata Manu's dynasty. He has two children, Anartha and Sukanya. Sukanya was a very beautiful daughter, lotus-eyed. And he used to go to Chavan Maharshi for getting the guidelines for the yajna and performing yajnas. So he took his daughter, went there, and their daughter was roaming around. And then he saw an ant hill. And there Chavan Maharshi was doing his tapasya. His entire body was eaten up by the ants. So in Yoga Shastra, Ashtanga Yoga, it says there are 7 chakras. How it's possible that the eyes are effulgent and the body is eaten up? This could be the question. So the Patanjali Sutras, Yoga Shastra describes that there are chakras, 7 chakras, which is connected to the Sukshma Sarira, which is not connected to this mass body. And the yogis, from the Muladhara chakra, they take out the prana to the Sapta chakras and brings it to Sahasrara chakra. So there is another chakra which is out of the body, Sahasrara chakra. When that is enlivened, that person either can give up his body, that's how the yogis could give up their body on a particular auspicious moment. Or their chakras become aligned, so we call it Kundalini Jagrana. Those person can memorize anything, they can see and they can understand, they become Trikalagnya. All these rishis were having this power. So Chavan Rishi also, his prana shakti came up to this chakra, 6th chakra. So only eyes were effulgent and the body was turned into an anthill. And then she poked the eyes and blood came out, and it says in that chapter that all the horses, all the soldiers came along with Shariati. They also stopped passing stool or urine. Malamutra avarodha. Everything stopped. That much offense. So what happened then? Chavan Rishi, he meditated Shariati and understood and asked the daughter. The daughter confessed and then begged forgiveness. And then Shariati asked, okay, you give me your daughter then. I want to marry her. Then you'll be forgiven. And she stayed back there serving. So what this kind of stories, sometimes it seems like why this kind of stories are in Bhagavatam. Chavan Rishi was an old person, why he wanted to marry a young princess? Or this kind of Bhaumasura. So, in the 12th chapter, this Dharitri Devi herself, if you read 12th chapter, 3rd canto, possibly the 3rd or 4th sloka, there, Dharitri Devi herself is saying, Katha imaste kathita mahiyasam. Parikshit Maharaj asked that this kind of story, Sharyati, Yayati, Nahush, Prishadra, Prithu, there are many characters, and they all were unconquerable kings. They had huge kingdom. So you described all these pastimes, but what is the purpose? So there, through Dharitri Devi, Sukdev Goswami is saying that Katha imaste kathita mahiyasam. You spoke about the stories of many kings, very powerful kings. And the purpose is not to imitate those kings, but to teach you Vijnana Vairagyam, the science of renunciation. So here, if you take up this story of Sharyati, which I mentioned, the outcome is that the princess of the daughter of Sharyati, she was not thinking of a husband who is very old. Was she expecting? No. But it happened to be so. And there was no other way out. If she would have denied, the entire dynasty would have been finished. Chavan Maharshi was a very powerful saint. She accepted, and then she served him very devotedly. So the outcome, the tatparya here of the katha is that sometimes we get some things which we don't desire for. We end up, suppose you were expecting something in your life, but something else happened which is not very favorable, not very desirable by you. But like Sukanya got Chavan Maharshi, was very old, but she followed her pativratya dharma and she remained stick to that and she served him. Eventually, Ashwini Kumar came and gave them the bath in that pond, and he turned again youth. He got back his youth. So the teaching here of this katha is that even in adversities, we should accept whatever our destiny brings, whatever Krishna provides. See, Katha imaste kathita mahiyasam vitaya lokeshu yashah pareyusham vijnana vairagya vibakshaya vibho vacho vibhutir natu paramarthyam. Shukadeva Goswami said, O mighty Parikshit, I have related to you the narrations of all these great kings who spread their fame throughout the world and then departed. My real purpose was to teach transcendental knowledge and renunciation. Vijnana Vairagyam. Stories of kings lend power and opulence to these narrations, but do not in themselves constitute the ultimate aspect of knowledge. So thank you all. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Anybody has any questions or anything?